At just 25 years old, a woman stepped onto the throne of England. Her country was divided. Powerful nations were plotting against her, and many believed a woman could never rule successfully. Yet this queen would go on to defeat empires, survive assassination plots, and lead England into a golden age. But the real mystery is this: how did Elizabeth I survive the deadly politics that destroyed so many others? The answer lies in patience, intelligence, and a strategy few rulers had ever mastered. A princess born into danger. Elizabeth was born in 1333, the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. Her father had broken away from the Catholic Church to marry Anne. He desperately wanted a male heir, but Elizabeth was born a girl. At first, the king celebrated, but everything changed just 3 years later. Anne Boleyn was accused of treason. Soon after, she was executed. Elizabeth was only a child when she lost her mother, and overnight, she was declared illegitimate. The Princess of England was suddenly treated as if she had no royal future at all. But this harsh beginning taught Elizabeth something important. In royal courts, survival required more than power. It required control. Elizabeth grew up surrounded by political tension. Courtiers whispered, nobles plotted. Religious conflict divided the country. Instead of reacting emotionally, Elizabeth learned to observe. She studied languages, philosophy, politics, and diplomacy. By adulthood, she could speak several languages fluently. But her greatest skill was not knowledge, it was discipline of the mind. Elizabeth rarely revealed her true thoughts, and that made her almost impossible to predict. When her half-sister Mary I of England became queen, danger returned. Mary was determined to restore Catholic rule in England. Elizabeth, a Protestant, quickly became a suspect. Soon, rebellion erupted in the country, and Elizabeth was blamed. She was arrested and sent to the dreaded Tower of London. For many prisoners, entering the tower meant only one thing: execution. Elizabeth knew that one wrong move could cost her life, but instead of fighting, she did something unexpected. She remained calm, silent, patient, and that patience saved her. Most rulers try to win power through force. Elizabeth used something far more dangerous: strategic patience. She waited for the right moment, and eventually that moment arrived. In 1558, Queen Mary died. Suddenly, Elizabeth became queen, but the throne she inherited was fragile. England faced economic problems, religious divisions, and threats from powerful European kingdoms. Many believed her reign would collapse quickly, but Elizabeth surprised them all. Instead of ruling with fear, she ruled with calculated strategy. European rulers expected Elizabeth to marry. Marriage alliances were the usual way to strengthen political power, but Elizabeth made a shocking decision. She refused. Instead, she declared she was married to England itself. This gave her something rare among monarchs: total independence. Without a king beside her, Elizabeth controlled the throne completely. She became known across Europe as the Virgin Queen. But Elizabeth's greatest test came from one of the most powerful rulers in Europe, Philip II of Spain. Spain controlled a massive global empire, and Philip believed England's Protestant queen had to be removed. So, in 1588, he launched the enormous Spanish Armada. More than 130 warships sailed toward England. Europe expected England to fall, but Elizabeth did something extraordinary. She personally rode out to address her soldiers. Standing before the army, she declared, "I have the heart and stomach of a king." Those words ignited the troops. Soon after, the English Navy attacked the Spanish fleet. Storms scattered the ships, battles raged across the sea, and the mighty Armada was defeated. It was one of the most famous naval victories in history. After the victory, England entered a remarkable period known as the Elizabethan Age. Exploration expanded, trade grew, art and literature flourished. Writers like William Shakespeare created works that would shape literature forever. England was no longer a weak kingdom, it was becoming a rising global power. For 44 years, Elizabeth ruled with intelligence, patience, and careful strategy. She survived conspiracies, political rivals, foreign invasions, and constant pressure to give up power. But she never did. Because Elizabeth understood something that many rulers never learned. Power is not always about strength. Sometimes it is about control, timing, and wisdom. The reign of Elizabeth I reminds us that leadership is not about reacting quickly. True leadership comes from patience, discipline, and understanding when to act. The most powerful leaders are often the ones who know how to wait for the perfect moment.